Welcome to another edition of the official McCoy podcast. Once again, I am your host, Jelani McCoy. And once again, as you can see by the digs in the glorious podcast studio, that this podcast is brought to you by No Coast and the good people at Officialize Media here in San Diego, California. That's where we're located. I don't know, do a lot of people know that? I think a lot of people need to know we're located in San Diego, California. I'm a San Diego guy, and I like to keep things real classy and San Diego-ish. So, yeah, I don't know why it just crossed my mind that I want to shout out San Diego. Let's get straight into business. Like, we don't like to hesitate. We like to dive right into it. Let's get into the NFL. The NFL is looking good. The games are way more exciting than they were last year, besides the facts that Julio Jones hasn't scored a touchdown for me in my fantasy league, but he got 700 yards. Nobody really got in the end zone this week. A lot of yardage, you know what I mean, but not a lot of touchdowns. We need touchdowns. Speaking of touchdowns, OBJ is out here sneak dissing, y'all. You know, he's kind of eluding, kind of shooting some shots Eli's way. A lot of rumors swirling around that nobody wants Eli to be the starting quarterback anymore. I don't know how that's going to work out. Didn't they release the kid Webb or something like that? They traded him away. You went all in on Eli and you went all in on OBJ. Are you rolling with OBJ as a franchise player? I don't think I am at this point. You know what I mean? First of all, I need my franchise player to be a little bigger in stature. I'm going to need a big 6'4", 230-pound wide receiver. Give me somebody like Flash Gordon or Megatron. I like big receivers. Big receivers should be franchise receivers, and you should have an OBJ on the other side. Speaking of on the other side of OBJ got to grow up a little bit, all right? He got his money. He got his Supreme cleat sneaker shoe deal. He got his money from Nike and the Giants. It's time for OBJ to grow up a little bit. I'm a big fan of OBJ, what he represents. He represents the youth, you know, the youth movement in sports and sports adjacent things like fashion and jewelry and dancing. So I don't have a problem with OBJ, but maybe it's a quarterback. I mean, he can't throw to himself yet. Can you throw to yourself? That would be dope. Like Tyreek Hill can probably throw to himself. He can probably line up at quarterback in the spread, take a hike, and then throw it to himself downfield as long as he got enough air underneath it because he's fast. He's the cheater, right? It's like the fastest guy in the NFL. Anyway, I don't know why I thought of that. Oh, because the Chiefs and the Patriots, they had a shootout. Patrick Mahomes hung in there for a minute. I was worried the first couple of drives. I said, oh, man, he's going to fall suspect to the Belichick thing. Belichick's got the record. What is he, 6-1 versus rookie quarterbacks or something like that, undefeated? You saw the stat. You watched the game. So it looked problematic for a minute, but he seems to figure things out. And he got Andy Reid over there. Don't forget, Andy Reid ain't no chump with the X's and O's game. You know what I mean? So he did a good job. He hung in there. The Patriots looking like the Patriots again, unfortunately. Sony Michel, shout out to Sony Michel, another member of the Officialized family. He's looking like that one back. They don't need 2 or 3 backs, or they don't need a wide receiver playing running back now. They got Sony Michel back there getting 26 carries, over 100 yards and a touchdown, something like that. That's looking problematic for the rest of the AFC because, of course, you got Gronk. You know what I mean? Flash is over there looking good, looking healthy, looking ready to, you know, contribute and give his best Randy Moss impression. Randy Moss impression is for Tom Brady. So it's looking good over there for the Patriots. I'm not going to lie. I'm a fan of the Patriots sometimes. I'm like, I said it before. I like evil empires. I like people who have everybody can't stand because they win too much. I played and won a championship for the Lakers, so I get it. You know what I mean? I heard all the beat LA chants. I know what it means to be a part of something that wins all the time. UCLA, Lakers, you know, it gets on people's nerves. So I am a fan. Fortunately, I am a fan of the evil empires. Brady looks good. The D lineman, though, he tripped and let Tom Brady go. Did he score that? Scored a touchdown because he didn't want to hurt Tom. Quarterbacks are protected in the NFL. There's a lot of funny things going on with defensive linemen. One defensive lineman, didn't he tear his ACL trying to lay the quarterback down nicely? That sucks. I mean, how are you going to – that's just physics. How is a man, like basically a bullet leaving a chamber, guiding himself to a spot, supposed to tell his body to do something, contrary to physics. They got to figure that out. They got to figure out the Le'Veon Bell news. Every time you hear about Le'Veon Bell news, this is the same thing that happened last year, right? Soon as the bye week comes up, we got to hear about the Le'Veon Bell rumors and, he's going to come in and get some extra work because it's a bye week. He ain't coming in and getting no extra work because it's a bye week. Hopefully he's somewhere doing some yoga and chilling. You know what I mean? Just take a look at what's going on in the league, you know what I mean? Impressing himself, coming in halfway during the season. It just don't look good. You know what I mean? I don't know how many more times is he going to get away with coming in, being at the crib, training at the crib, and then coming into the wild, wild west like the NFL of injuries and just leave unscathed with that workload that he has. But he has John Connor, so maybe he shares that workload. But John Connor don't look like he want to give that up. James Conner. John Connor was in the Terminator. That's what happened. I'm constantly on a sci-fi nerd kick. You know what I mean? I got my Dark Knight trilogy screenplay sitting right here, so I'm all over the place. I know what his name is, but I was talking about the dude from the Terminator. Anyway, Connor, the running back. Spectacular story on the kid, right? Beat cancer. And he's a midshipman, right? Pittsburgh. Same conference-ish. Same colors. Well, let's see. We got to have a good team. I got a good team in here. They always have my back. Anyway, he doesn't look like he's ready to give up that load, give up some of those carries. Le'Veon going to come in there and cut in on your carries. What is he getting? Sometimes 26, 30 carries a game, another 10 to 12 in the passing game. That's going to change up for Connor. So we'll see what happens. I hope he sticks it out. Hopefully he's got some money in the bank, you know what I mean? He was financially responsible, and he doesn't have to rush to work and end up hurt because I don't know how many more times is he going to keep leaving unscathed. The Raiders, man, the Raiders are falling in. Dallas got a couple wins, and the Raiders haven't got a couple wins. So the Raiders are going to fall in to our new slate of boo-boo. The Raiders are boo-boo. They took over Dallas and your boy, then squeaked out a couple wins, you know what I mean? So they moved out of our boo-boo teams on the official McCoy podcast for the season. But the Raiders are now officially boo-boo. Let Khalil Mack go to Chicago and play Madden, getting 2 and 3 sacks a game, picking off passes and taking the ball out of quarterbacks' hands, and he embodied everything that was Raider Nation. He paid Derek Carr the bread and forgot his brother was David Carr. And if he's bouncing information off David for quarterback notes, and I don't know how that's working out across the dinner table. The Raiders are boo-boo. I haven't seen anything really from Marshawn Lynch. I'm getting tired of Marshawn getting pounded on, you know what I mean, and just taking up the bait, trying to put on for the town, you know what I mean? And John Gruden looking real selfish. Chucky looking selfish, man. The whole face and the whole, his persona's looking kind of played out because of how the Raiders play. So he took all that money. We hold OBJ responsible for his stat line, right? And all the other players that take money. His stat line is his wins and loss record. And it's looking boo-boo. It's not fair to the Raiders fans who have, they have one more year? They have one more year in Oakland. They stuck with this John Gruden experiment. It looks like an experiment. Like McVay and like other coaches are coming and like you can see like a big difference. There's an exuberance, a sense of joy to teams. The Raiders just look like that old rusty Raider, gloomy, like it's not working. Sorry, John. You know what I mean? I was looking forward to it. My best friend played for you, number 2 pick in the NFL draft, Darrell Russell, rest in peace. Met John Gruden a couple times. He was a cool dude. But this version of John Gruden, you know what I mean, it's not working out for the Raiders, and they fell under the boo-boo category. From boo-boo to boo-hoo. Aaron bleeping Rodgers, man. I'm hurt. I'm still, it's the midweek, and I'm still trying to digest what Aaron blipping Rodgers did to my 49ers. It's embarrassing, but predictable. Embarrass-addictable? No. I'll work on another one. But you get what I mean. When he gets the ball with however much time it is on the clock, he seems to pull off this nonsense and hurt people's feelings at the end of the game. Aaron Rodgers is cold blooded, man. A lot of people talk about Tom Brady and who else? Big Ben. Is that like the Mount Rushmore of the old school quarterbacks, like before they hand off the baton to the new quarterbacks? Aaron Rodgers is cold-blooded. Hurt my feelings with the 49ers. If the 49ers low-key didn't have all these injuries, they're playing pretty well. They seem to be in games. The offense seems to be scoring. The defense could be playing a little better, but the defense has had injuries. So I'm happy with the 49ers this year. I'm just not happy with what Aaron Rodgers did to us. You don't do that stuff to people. You don't treat people like that, Aaron Rodgers. Sheesh. Let's move on to the NCAA because low-key, when he got the ball and with whatever amount of time it was, I turned the channel because I knew what was going to happen. I ain't had no time. I'm older now. I'm 40, about to be 41. Like, that's a young man's game. Like, Griffin and Justin, they watch the games till they end, you know what I mean? Because they can put up with that. That just hurts my feelings at the end of the day. But got excited for the season. Jimmy's hurt. I told you CJ was good. There's some rumors going around in this podcast room that CJ doesn't finish the fourth quarter. The 49ers don't finish the fourth quarter, you know what I mean? Especially when you got Aaron Rodgers throwing Hail Marys. Let's just move on. Nick Bosa got up out of there on Ohio State because his brother's Joey Bosa and he's Ohio State royalty, and he felt like it. He's been struggling with some injuries. I don't know, some lower extremity issues. Is this the new deal for athletes? Just to bounce on the college? Does Ohio State's physical, is their PT staff whack? Nah, Ohio State has plenty of resources, right? They got Urban Meyer and a Nike contract and the good people at Ohio State there. What's happening? I'm rolling with it. Get out of there. It's not like it's the NFL, right? He's on the D line. He's at risk every time the ball is hiked. Yeah, it makes sense. You're not missing nothing in Ohio State that he probably hasn't experienced last year. So there's nothing really to play for him. He's supposed to be the number one pick. Do you stay if you're the number one pick? You got to get out of there. You got to get out of there. It's too much going on, too much of a risk when you're a number one pick and you're trying to come back. McCaffrey did it. Fournette did it. It's been going on for a while now, so I don't think we can throw him under the bus. You know what I mean? Shout out to him. You know, make a decision and stand by it. If you go into the NFL and that's your end goal, that's your dream, go ahead and put yourself out there and commit, you know, and heal and get ready to play in the NFL. You can always go back and get your college degree. Major League Baseball is still cracking. It's a 2-2 series in the NLCS. Manny Machado. Did y'all see Manny?
Machado just kind of lets that left leg bang into the right leg of Aguilar, and on a routine play, now you know why Aguilar was upset.
Manny looking shady, man. I don't get it. You know what I mean? Manny, you gotta let your bat do the talking. They brought you over here to produce, man, not act a fool. Low key, Manny has a history of acting a fool, it turns out. They just caught him on a national stage in the middle of the playoffs. Like that's cool in Baltimore when you don't go to the playoffs and nobody's really covering your games. But you can't do that in LA, Manny. You got to get it together. Manny looked shady at the press conference, talking about what happens on the diamond stays on the diamond and all that. Nah, Manny, we ain't rolling with that. You didn't have to do that. What if you hurt the dude? Did you think about that? What was he going to say if he hurt the dude? Was he still going to be shady at the press conference if he tore his ACL or ruptured something or he had to sit the series out? Was he going to be like, oh, what happens on the diamond stays on the diamond? Or was he going to be like contrite and be like, oh, no, we just don't know. And he has a history of doing this, and he can't do this on national TV. Not when Magic Johnson is in the crowd. Magic Johnson ain't trying to see that. Oh, did Magic give up control of the Dodgers? I don't remember. Anyway, you can't do that in L.A. Just win. Get some base hits. Move some runners. Hit some home runs. Be a hero. Don't be a zero. We got enough zeros. ALCS. Red Sox. Boston is up 2-1. This is good news. Did David Price get a win? David Price got a postseason win? I do believe he got off the schneid. If he has David Price ever had a postseason win? And if he did, he just got his first one. I did see him pitching. Didn't David Price? We need to get some information on David Price and if he got his first win. That's a need-to-know thing. They're up 2-1 against the Astros. That's a good series. I feel like that may be the World Series. Red Sox and Astros. No, the Dodgers are pretty dope. They got some good stuff. The Dodgers are pretty stoked. The World Series is going to be good this year. Baseball's looking good. Manny was the only downside to the postseason last night. Baseball's looking good. I like where baseball's headed. Opening night was last night in the NBA. Hooray. Fantastic. The Warriors got their rings. Did you see those things? The Warriors' rings are ridiculous. They're like godly secret decoder rings. They look like a intergalactic space deciphers, with platinum and diamonds on them. They're like you can turn out and customize and flip it. Who in the hell comes up with a reversible ring? I think who's doing them? Jason at Beverly Hills. He's been doing the last couple rings. Look, first of all, I'm a little jealous of the rings that these new teams are getting. The Golden State Warriors rings are far from the rings that I run with the Lakers, and those big gaudy, almost like souped up CIF rings. Now they're like all streamlined and look updated, and you know what I mean. They're beautiful, for lack of a better word. I'm happy they got their rings. I'm a Warrior fan ish. I'm a California holic, so I like when California team win things. But opening night was awesome. The Warriors, they eked out a victory against OKC. Did you peep Russell Westbrook over there eating food with the spectacles over there, kind of laughing and chucking it up over there at the OKC? You think he might have been salty watching KD get a ring on opening night? You think the NBA did that on purpose? It's cold-blooded. It's good entertainment. Anyway. Oh, I'm trying to figure out how I feel about everybody wearing glasses and spectacles and shades on the NBA sidelines. That's a cold power move. Russ is a fashion icon, though, so he can get away with that. I don't want too many people. Let's limit it to 5 players. I don't want to see this be a thing where everybody's wearing Cartier shades and whatever else they got, on the sidelines. Let's save it for Russ and the fashion forward people. Let's not make it a thing. The Sixers look weird. They looked a little sluggish. You know what I mean? Ben Simmons looked good, of course. Joel Embiid got his stuff wiped by Scary Terry. That happened to me before. Everybody's like, how does a guard go up there and block a big man shot? Easily. The rim is highly contested. And if you got to bang up against another 7-foot dude like Baines and other big guys, when you turn over that shoulder, you're in a blind spot. You ever heard of a blind spot? Don't you have those in your vehicles? He was in a blind spot. Scary Terry and them brand new orange Pumas beat it. It's a little embarrassing, but I love the fact that it was Joel Embiid. I'm pretty sure he sought him out as a target. Are the Sixers or the Celtics going to come out in the East? Man, I don't like the Sixers. I don't know what Markelle Fultz is going to look like. Embiid is playing in Under Armours. Steph Curry is the only dude to get off in Under Armours on a consistent basis. Whatever is going on with him, if they're not giving him the Steph Curry staff to make his shoe, this can go bad, man. I seen this happen with Ben Wallace. Ben Wallace started wearing them Starburys. No disrespect to Steph. He's a visionary, entrepreneur. My man led with his name. But you got to watch out, man. You go up there in years and you test it, or he's not up there in years, but he can't afford to be rolling with untested product, right? Don't he have the back injuries? He had a history of injuries. And your idea is to turn to Under Armour? I know Adidas going through it. They got some issues in the AAU and NCAA, you know what I mean? But that don't just mean you leave Adidas high and dry for Under Armour. And then he's talking about he got something up. He's got something up for works. Like him and Under Armour got this big plan. Big man don't sell shoes. I mean, you can get you some Shaqs and pay less. Shaq is consistently like still one of the highest shoe sellers for athletes. He's a smart guy. He didn't want his shoes to no longer be $130 and all that good stuff. He made affordable shoes for children like Starbury did. But them Starburys cut a hole in Ben Wallace's career, and hopefully them Under Armours don't cut a hole in Joel Embiid's career. It was a good night for the NBA. So the opening night was awesome. We had to wait till Thursday to see LeBron. I don't know where you're at, what day it is. Maybe it'll be Thursday for you to listen to this, but it's not Thursday for us here yet. So you got to wait a while to see LeBron. I'm pretty sure that's an evil genius marketing thing on behalf of Silver and the rest of the association. Looking good. Looking real good. The shoes are looking dope. The jerseys are looking dope. The NBA season is going to be, it's came earlier for a reason. The storylines are awesome. Everybody's being petty on social media. Is the NBA is the NBA the best league with in regards to their engagement with social media? I think so. I think their personalities, you know, as far as the NFL, like quarterbacks are looked at like CEOs. They're more reserved, and you know what I mean, and they look more business-like. Cam is really the only one that gets to act a fool and wear rabbit foxtails and all those and what did he have? The brimless hat? Yeah. He had the brimless hat. Only Cam can do stuff like that. Only Cam can wear those outfits and then go over and run people over. I like Cam Newton. I'm a big Cam Newton fan. I like the way he's gone about his career, what he does for kids, what he stands for out there on the football field. I don't know how that – oh, he's an Under Armour guy. See, I told you how my brain works. It's weird. It goes up in 5 different verticals at once. I was tying in the whole Under Armour thing. Anyway, NBA season is back. Thank goodness. We got a whole bunch of good stars. Is Jimmy Butler call himself about to play for the Timberwolves? They're going to let Jimmy Butler play. That is a cold piece. My man goes in there with the third string, cusses out the GM and all the stars and everybody that just got the big extensions and told them that they need him. How y'all going to do this without Jimmy? That's a power move. They're going to play Jimmy too. And they're going to win. And Jimmy going to have like 30. And then they're going to have a bigger problem on their hand. Because do you trade Jimmy after that? Then they're going to have problems with players. This is what happens with players. So if Jimmy's going to get this off, somewhere down the line, somebody else is going to get tired of their situation or their market and try to pull this move. I get it. I guess Jimmy is cold. We was questioning, you know what I mean? We knew Jimmy Butler's historic work ethic, and we knew he had. That's the same damn team that ran Jimmy out of Chicago. Isn't it? It's Tibbs, the forward from SC, Taj Gibson, D Rose is over there. I know Tibbs got another assistant from Chicago that's over there. And who? The Timberwolves. I get it now. I was wondering why they call it. It just dawned on me that that's the same team from Chicago. No wonder Jimmy's acting a fool. But Jimmy wanted to go over there. What's wrong with Jimmy, y'all? He needed this season to start badly. He was bored. He must have been over. He must have been festering. Just you can only work out so much, you know what I mean, before he don't get no reward from working out besides a 12-pack You know what I mean? And some sweaty gym clothes. Yeah, this is good. The NBA, then we can let Lance Stevenson and Jimmy Butler run wild. Have y'all seen Lance Stevenson? It's going to take some getting used to for Laker fans. No, because Mad Dog was something else. And Kurt Rambis was something else. We never really had a dancing Laker. Swaggy P tried, and then he missed the shot when he turned around after he tried this little swaggy dance. Y'all remember that. It's a gif or a meme now, whatever it is. We never really had this personality in the middle of the stage. We had Worm, but it was like almost lower third Worm. His best years were behind him. He actually behaved himself with the Lakers until they played Karl Malone, and then he let the Worm out of the bag. Yeah. That was kind of funny. Sorry, I'm my only child. Sometimes I laugh at myself. Yeah. So NBA season, great storylines. Jimmy's cold-blooded. That's a boss move. Interested to see what happened. Hopefully it doesn't. He got KG talking out on Jimmy Butler and what he's doing in Minnesota. You know what I mean? So they're trying to help this not permeate through the league. Speaking of permeating through the league, the sicko mode permeated through the league. In today's culture update, we're going to talk about Travis Scott, Champagne Poppy, and LeBron James going sicko mode. Was that in Los Angeles? That was in Los Angeles, right in his backyard. And usually, when I played in Seattle, me and Vin Baker really did most of the work. We brought out Method Man and Redman for that Blackout album. And usually you say, if you're in that market, you're like, hey, I'm Jelani McCoy. What's up, Seattle, or wherever you're at? I want to introduce to you, some of my homeboys, you know what I mean? The Migos, or whoever it is. And they came off, and you walk your ass off the stage, right? That's usually standard, that's SOP for bringing out somebody in your city. Man, LeBron James is out there dancing. Looked like they had a routine, and they had thought this out. He had the bag. He had his bag, his duffel bags, you know what I mean? He was rocking out. When's the last time you seen the best player in the world on the stage with the best? He did, because of the dad hat in his color scheme. He did. He looked a little bit like an older version of Tyler, the Creator. I like Tyler, the Creator, too. He's just crazy enough to make everything work. Anyway, when's the last time we seen the best player of the world on stage with some of the best musicians in the world wearing some of the best fashion and sneakers in the world? They had one-off sneakers and Dries Van Noten. If you got one of those apps, I don't know what app it is. I'm not going to big up that app until they give me some bread. If you got that app, you can pick that, I think you snapshot a picture and then they detail what everyone's wearing in the picture. Like I said, you can go find the app if you want, unless that app want to give me some bread and I can, get it out to the masses. But, you can look it up. You know how to use the app store. Yeah, it was awesome. They be hating on LeBron for out here being an Epicurean, creating, shows and animation movies and about to film Space Jams. Then he want to go out there and dance with Drake and Travis in a sicko mode vibe. It's dope. It's good for basketball. It's good for sports. It's good for Los Angeles. What else did he come to Los Angeles to do? He's an entertainer. He's an actor. He's an entertainer, and he's the best basketball player in the world. And he's probably in the top 5% of dads. Have you seen Taco Tuesdays? It's Taco Tuesdays. He doesn't take himself seriously. You know what I mean? We find in American sports, a lot of Kobe took himself very seriously, right? Tom Brady takes himself very seriously. I mean, he smiles and laughs, but he takes himself very seriously. It's good to see an American sports, a behemoth figure put itself out there. So it's vulnerability as a father and as a philanthropist. He's accessible. That's good for Los Angeles. The last person to do that was Shaq. And we all know who Shaq turned out. Hall of Famer, one of the biggest entities in sports by himself. Speaking of one of the biggest entities, Jeff Bezos out here tripping. You know what I mean? Elon Musk got caught blowing Doty with Joe Rogan, had to step down because he pulled the other nonsense he did with trying to take Tesla back private, but he could. But he had the bread to, but you just can't because of the old rules of the stock market. You just can't do that. Anyway, Jeff Bezos out here flexing. He's the richest man in the world. He built a spaceship. Looks like a tent. It don't look like Elon's. Crossing over into Elon's lane because he sees weakness in the Tesla dynasty because Elon got caught blowing Doty. That's dirty. But when you're the richest man in the world, I guess you can build spaceships. Is that the new thing? As you get a whole bunch of money and you start talking about leaving here and going to space? They've been trying to leave our ass for a minute. Everybody got a spaceship, but everybody ain't able. Can you afford a ticket, Justin? Griffin? I can't. How much are the tickets for the spaceships? Why come it's not public information? It's weird. They're trying to leave us, y'all. We gotta come up with some type of petition to make a couple tickets public. We gotta have a lottery. That's what all the science fiction movies was about. Remember The Island? Go look at The Island. It's a Michael Bay production. It was a dope movie. It's been little weird movies like that where they're trying to leave us. Jeff Bezos trying to leave us, y'all. Elon was gonna give us a ride. Elon was going to give us a ride, and they shut Elon down because he's a man of the people and he's disruptive. I don't think Jeff Bezos is going to give us a ride. It's because everybody going to be here on Amazon ordering toilet paper in the middle of the night in Echoes, and Jeff is going to dip on us with the Amazon staff. We're not going to dip on you, though. We're going to be here every week bringing you culture updates, talking sports adjacent things, being a dad, being an athlete, being a nerd, following the tech space, things that matter to us here at the Official McCoy Podcast and here at Officialized. Shout out to everybody once again on the Officialized platform. Kirk Cousins Podcast is mean. I don't know if you check that out. If you have a right mind and you have some time, you should go check out Kirk Cousins' podcast on the Officialized Experience. He had Adam Thielen and Tom Compton. He had the ill Bobby Boucher jersey on. You got to go check that out. Kirk Cousins is a podcasting madman. He's starting to get real comfortable and starting to open up a little bit. Good for Kirk Cousins. Good for Officialized. Good for you that I told you that. Now you can go over there and listen to the Officialized Experience with Kirk Cousins and his best friend and Adam Thielen. I'm Jelani McCoy. This has been the Official McCoy Podcast. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week.